Hello Year 8 and welcome to Lesson 3 of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. We're going to start by testing your memory of Chapter 1 of the novel, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and I've got a quick true or false quiz for you. So could you please make sure that you've also got the worksheet open in front of you and you can type your answers into the worksheet as we go along. In this true or false quiz, if you mark an answer false, the real challenge is, can you also add the correct answer to it as well? Okay, so question number 1, true or false? There are 2 brothers and 2 sisters in the story. Question 2, Susan is the youngest. Question 3, Lucy was very frightened when she went into the wardrobe. And question 4, the magical creature she met had legs shaped like a horse. So pause the video and see if you can type your answers into your worksheet. Okay, and have a look at the answers then. There are 2 brothers and 2 sisters in the story. Yes, there are. That is true. Susan and Lucy and Edmund and Peter. Question number 2, Susan is the youngest. That was false. Lucy is the youngest of the 4 siblings. Question number 3, Lucy was very frightened when she went into the wardrobe. It's also false. She was curious and amazed rather than frightened. And question number 4, the magical creature she met had legs shaped like a horse. And in actual fact, Mr. Tumnus has legs shaped like a goat because he is a fawn. So your main activity today is to read another 3 chapters of the novel, chapters 2, 3 and 4. There is a link in either ClassCharts or Google Classroom, whichever one you're using, to an online version of the text of the novel, so you can have that and read to yourself. Or if you prefer to use the audiobook, and it's a really good idea to listen as you're reading as well, because this activity will involve you selecting quotes from the text. If you're using the audiobooks, the timings you need are chapter 2 begins at about 10 minutes and 54 seconds and chapter 4 ends at about 53 minutes, but it will say then chapter 5, so you'll know when chapter 4 has ended. Okay, but the starting point is 10 minutes 54. Okay, enjoy the next 3 chapters. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so your next task is to start thinking again about what we talked in terms of the theme of courage and bravery, which was introduced in chapter 1. We're going to be thinking about how that theme continues to be developed in the novel through the use of Lucy and Edmund, because they become very, very different characters and they have quite a different approach to the challenges in the novel. So what I would like you to do is have a look at the table and have a look at the example, first of all, that I filled in, because I've identified a particular character, Lucy, and I've taken my example right from the beginning of chapter 2. I've identified a challenge that she faces. You know, she meets this completely new, strange mythological creature. Well, how does she respond to that challenge? She responds with quite remarkable bravery, doesn't she? Because she's not fazed at all. I'd probably run away and scream if I was suddenly thrust into a magical world and there was a half man, half goat creature before me with horns and things. But she doesn't. She retains her manners and her calm and her dignity, and she says good morning or good afternoon and greets him very politely, doesn't she? So I think she's showing kind of great courage and great bravery at that point. So what I would like you to do is go back through the 3 chapters, 2, 3 and 4, and can you pick out another 2 moments for each character where they face some kind of obstacle or challenge? We talked about resilience, didn't we? And that can only happen when you face obstacles and challenges. What aspects of their personality come out when they face these challenges? Do they react with courage and bravery at these particular points in the novel? So fill in that chapter and then we'll get together for a very final task. And your final task is to create your very own true or false quiz based on things that have happened in the 3 chapters that we've read. So the easiest way to do this is to select two truths first of all. So pick out two things that happened in the novel and present them as statements. So it could be something like Mr. Tumnus drops all his parcels when he sees Lucy. I have put an example of a true and a false on the worksheet for you. But just a little bit of advice when you're coming to create your false ones. What you're trying to do is sort of really test your opponent's understanding and memory of the novel. So rather than coming up with something completely bonkers, like Edmund was captured by green aliens with 7 heads, that's obviously false. Try and come up with something that did happen in the novel and twist it slightly. So the example I've given there is the magical creature she met had legs shaped like a horse. Okay, so somebody could very easily answer true to that because it was actually a goat, and those two things are quite similar and easily confused. So try and take something that did happen in the novel and just twist it slightly, so you're really testing your opponent, the person that you're quizzing. So create a little true or false quiz, and then when you're ready, can you remember to try and upload your work to Google Classrooms for your particular class teacher rather than emailing it to your teacher or emailing it to Miss Dermont. That way all the work's in one place and we can mark it very easily and give you some feedback on that. That's brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. See you for lesson 4.